Back here now on the last segment on today's episode. How about that? How about the Netflix special from last night? If you didn't catch it, make sure to go watch it on Netflix if you are subscribed to that platform. I unfortunately, I can't lie, I did miss it live. I really wanted to see it, but it just flew over my head. So I did watch the majority of it today. A 3 hour special that really was worth all of that time you put into watching it. They had a lot of great personalities on there, a lot of big name celebrities. You had Kevin Hart hosting it along with Jeff Ross, and you had a bunch of Brady's old teammates there. Edelman, Gronk, Bill Belichick was there, Willie McGinnis, Rodney Harrison were all there. Randy Moss went up there to roast Tom Brady. It was all great from the celebrity and just the attraction of it all. But really, what mattered most was all right, if I'm going to really tune into this 3 hours of your precious time, how much will I really benefit from it? I promise you guys, you will not really regret this decision to watch it just because from the start of the show really to all the end of it, I thought it was great from start to finish. Kevin Hart started it off um, telling great jokes, roasting Tom Brady a little bit. Then Jeff Ross followed him up. On Jeff Ross, great. He's usually known for doing the comedy special roast of other big name personalities in the entertainment business. But there was one awkward moment on there when Jeff Ross made a joke about Robert Kraft and the issue he had in 2019. I want to say, about, yeah, I won't go too much into it, but he mentioned Robert Kraft in that issue he had back in 2019. And if you want to know more, look it up. But he made a joke, and awkward moment because Tom stood up and he really didn't like the joke. He went up to him and said something in his ear. I don't know why he covered his mouth. The microphone was still there, and he picked it up really clearly, basically saying, "Don't say that, you know what, ever again." Jeff Ross like put his hands up and said, "Okay, okay." So that moment was pretty awkward between Jeff Ross and Tom Brady. But regardless of that, I'm surprised that there weren't more moments like that because if you watch, a lot of these jokes were just crazy. That these comedians were saying. Nikki Glazer was great. Sam J, also another comedian, went up there, and they were really funny. Probably two of my favorites, along with Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. And surprisingly enough, Bill Belichick was one of my favorites as well. Wasn't out there to start the show, but he came out after Ron Burgundy, who also was great, told a lot of jokes. Him being from New York, told a lot of Eli Manning and giant jokes related to Brady. I thought those were great. But Bill Belichick surprised everybody by being there. And again, Bill Belichick, he's not the most easygoing, lighthearted, can tell these dark humor jokes. That's probably the furthest description you get from Bill Belichick. But he went up there. All props to Belichick getting up there and telling some of these jokes. He roasted Tom, roasted some of his old players. I thought he was great. And since not having a job in the NFL, I think Bill's great. I love this side of Bill Belichick even more. And maybe he just shouldn't get another job because this side of Bill is a lot more fun and I enjoyed a lot more. But no, in all seriousness, he should get a head coaching job. But if he continues to act like this, he could have a job lined up afterwards after he's officially done with the NFL. But on top of that, you had Belichick in there being great. Some great jokes from Nikki Glazer again. I have to mention her. She was really funny, one of the standouts from it. And just a lot of great sets from really everybody that was in there. Dana White got in on the action, roasting Tom Brady. And one of the things that I thought was great afterwards, after all these sets, Gronk went up there and he told some funny jokes, but afterwards he had a shot with Bill Belichick, Tom Brady. He actually spiked his shot glass, which was great. We'll get a lot of people to tune into that. And Tom Brady, of course, got his chance to, respond to everybody who made jokes on him towards the end. He took a couple of shots at Peyton Manning and Eli, the Jets, the Colts, the Bills, all roasting them, saying how he owns them. He made a couple of Deflategate jokes, which were pretty surprising. I think a lot of people were just caught off guard by them, almost admitting to Deflategate. But it was all in good fun, and all the jokes were great from Tom responding. You had Peyton Manning come out and give a couple of jokes to Brady, give a couple of jabs in there, while also announcing officially that Bill Belichick will be a reoccurring guest on the Manning cast. So that's another positive that came out of this. And just overall from this whole experience, seeing this comedy special and how it went down, a good shout out to Tom Brady as well for just sitting there and taking all of these huge hits from these comedians, because these guys are professionals at what they do, just professionals at making fun of you, poking fun of you, and some of the jokes on Brady, his marriage, his diet, and all these other things around him. I mentioned I can't tell some of these jokes on here because they were crazy live on air, but overall, I love this experience, having these roast sessions on Netflix, more of these live events. I talked about it before with Netflix and going more into the live scene. I'm really a big fan of it. I think more people will gravitate towards it. This was a great way to introduce it as one of the bigger events, part of their comedy special festival that they have there running through May 12th, I want to say. This was a great introduction to it, and I hope they're able to do this more with other athletes maybe on there, just more live events. They don't have to be roasts, but just seeing more live events with other guys around the NFL, or maybe they venture off into other sports. I think it would be a better way to draw more people into Netflix other than just their usual series and movies that they have on there. I think this is a great way to do it. This was a massive success, and again, I can't urge you guys enough to go check it out. I thought it was great, really funny. And just you see these guys in a different light as well. Athletes usually don't go up there and tell jokes, but I think they held their own. You see some comedians, at least from my point of view, that I really wasn't familiar with. You get to see some of their stuff, some of their sets. You might like them more, and that way it grows more. You go and check out their stuff a lot more often. Overall, top to bottom, I would give this 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100, however you want to rate it. Again, I urge you guys to go watch it. It was great. I don't know how long it'll be up there, but again, I'm a really big fan of it, and hopefully Netflix continues to do this more and more. That was my reaction from it. Very positive. I couldn't find too many things I didn't like about it. But yeah, overall, great decision if you go out and watch that. But that was my reaction from it. I really enjoyed it. And on that note, I will conclude today's episode of the GSMC Chip Shot Football Podcast. Thanking you guys for tuning into today's episode. Please remember to like, follow, and subscribe to the show, as well as also following us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok for more of the network's content outside of sports as well. If you want to see me and more of this show, check out the GSMC Sports Network channel and the GSMC Podcast Network channel, where all the full live shows are on there. YouTube shorts are posted daily as well on both channels, and individual segment videos are all on there. If you don't have time to watch an entire segment or entire live show, each segment is on there with its own video for you guys to enjoy. And as a reminder, tune in every weekday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time for more NFL and football conversations with me, Manny Maradiaga, as your host. Thanking you guys for joining me on today's episode, and I hope to see you guys all back here again tomorrow.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go